Why Superman? Okay. First of all, most people who know me know that I'm just a huge nerd, and my wardrobe reflects that. So there was a weekly 9-ball tournament at a pool room near my house that I would go to. And one evening, I played really good, and I just happened to be wearing a Superman shirt. So I figured, you know what? I'm gonna wear my Superman shirt next week and see if it's good luck. And I played pretty good that week. So every week I started wearing a Superman shirt. And then I found out that it really was not a good luck charm. I just kept wearing Superman shirts. And that became my nickname. There were people at the pool room that had known me for about a year, had no idea what my first name was. It was always Superman. And even the person running the tournament every once in a while would be like, on table 5, John Smith and Superman. And that's how I got my nickname. I kept wearing Superman shirts. What is your favorite person to cosplay as? I guarantee some people have seen my personal Facebook page because of this. I would have to say Luke Skywalker would probably be my favorite cosplay. I'm a big Star Wars fan, and Luke is always, the main hero most of the time in all the stories. And I like his costumes. They're fairly simple, but iconic. And always having the lightsabers, that's always really cool. People really react well to a really well-constructed prop lightsaber. So probably have to say Luke Skywalker is my favorite, but I'm actually in the process of working out and getting in shape for my dream cosplay whenever I get in shape for it, and that's He-Man from the 80s cartoon series, because that's my favorite cartoon character of all time. So that will be my favorite cosplay once I get in shape for it. Have you met any of the actors who played those characters? I have met a lot of actors at sci-fi conventions and anime conventions and so forth. Off the top of my head, I've met the actors who played Luke Skywalker, Darth Maul, Chewbacca, Darth Vader, Boba Fett, the young Boba Fett. So I've met a number of the Star Wars actors, but aside from that, I've met a lot of people who are in Star Trek. I've met Chekhov. I've met Lou Ferrigno, the Hulk. So I've met a lot of actors from the sci-fi genre, and it's really pretty cool to meet them. They're just regular people. They just happen to be good at something that we'll pay money to see. But my last couple people I've met were from the Smallville series, which, me being a Superman fan, was great. So I got a chance to meet Michael Rosenbaum, who was Lex Luthor, but also played in Pool Hall Junkies. So I actually signed him a cue ball, Brian Superman Pauley, and gave it to him. He thought it was pretty cool. And I actually got a chance to meet Clark Kent himself, Tom Welling. And that was really cool. So just to meet people from a franchise that's affiliated with my nickname, that was pretty cool to do. How did you first get into artistic pool? Well, my first experience with trick shots or artistic pool was a VHS series. I'm that old, I'm dating myself now. And it had Steve Miserak, Jimmy Mattia, and Ava Mattia, and they were shooting trick shots. It was part of a 3 VHS set. And I thought it was really cool what these shots were. And then ESPN Trick Shot Magic came on TV, and I was like blown away. Dr. Cue, Tom Rossman, came to my college in 2004, 2005 to put on a trick shot exhibition. And I thought, again, this was amazing. I was like, maybe I could try to do this. So I tried to start duplicating some of those shots at home. And then in 2008, I met up with Steve Lillis, who's the president and CEO of Gospel Trickshot Ministries. He did a show there, and I kept in contact with him. And in 2014, Dr. Cue was putting on a Pro-Am event. So I got a chance to get paired with the pro. There was 5 teams, and my team ended up getting second place. And I was like, wow, I can do this. So in 2015, I started playing in all the pro ranking events and haven't looked back since. So it was a really cool story to get there. What is your favorite trick shot to perform and why? I would have to say there's 2 shots that really are really iconic as far as with the shows that I do that people really like. One's called the Superman shot. It's where you jump the cue ball over 2 balls through a rack and make a 2-ball split shot. But I do it one-handed. And when I tell people I'm gonna do the shot one-handed, they're like, what? And then when I hit it, they think it's just the best thing ever. But then the other shot I really like to perform, it's called the window shot. And it's a 3-ball cluster, and they all go in, and then the cue ball kind of parallels right in between a 2-ball gap, doesn't touch them, and then spins forward to make a ball in the corner. It looks really, really cool when you hit it, and everybody just thinks it's amazing to get the ball through there and not touch anything. So probably those 2 shots would be my 2 favorites to perform. What is the most difficult shot you have ever pulled off? Probably the circular draw shot. I've only hit it a handful of times because it's that hard. An explanation is you have a ball on the point where the side pocket is, and then your object ball is about 2 balls out from there. Then there's a ball in the bottom left-hand corner pocket. You shoot the ball into the corner, come off the rail, and then back around that blocker ball. It's an extremely hard stroke shot. It's probably one of the hardest shots in our program. That's probably the most difficult shot I've ever made, because I've only made it a handful of times, but I have made it. Why should players get into artistic pool competitively? It's a very fun atmosphere. I liken it to like a fraternity. Everybody knows each other. Everybody's respectful to each other. We try to help each other out. If we got a new person coming in and they're kind of having a difficulty with a shot, we'll lend some experience and help, which you don't really get in competitive sports a lot. Somebody from the other team helping you out. But it's a good time. The crowd reacts to it well. It's not just run out 9-ball that can sometimes be boring for your casual fan, but your casual fan will love this. And when you compete competitively, you get a world ranking, and that's a lot easier to, let's say, go to a potential sponsor or get some notoriety that you can say, hey, I'm ranked, fill in the blank, on the tour. So that's one of the reasons why, or a couple of the reasons why I think people should compete, because it's definitely a lot of fun. How do you win an artistic competition? So how it works is we have a 120 shot program, and then you shoot 5 shots in 8 different categories. You shoot 40 in the prelims, and that will seed you when you go to the playoffs. And then the playoffs, it's kind of like a game of horse in a sense. You go back and forth with the book open, so you can pick from anywhere. And whoever has the most points in that match wins the match. So it's pretty difficult sometimes, because when people know your weaknesses, they tend to pull those shots against you. So you need to really know probably anywhere between 100 and 110 of the 120 shots to really compete well. And that's pretty much how you win, is knowing more shots than the other people do. Is there a difference in preparing for an 8-ball or 9-ball tournament and preparing for an artistic competition? I would say so, because there's different strokes in artistic pool than in 8 or 9-ball. Like the one-handed jump, fouette stroke. So there's 3 shots in our program. They're 2mm draws that require what we call a fouette. So you have the object ball and the cue ball 2mm apart, and you shoot it with a level cue and draw it multiple rails without fouling. And how that works is you shoot so low and so far to the edge of the cue ball that the shaft actually deflects off the ball. It's been done in slow-mo, and it's not a push, it's not a double hit, but it's a super loose wrist and a whip. So it's something different than maybe what people would do in regular pool. So in regular pool, all you really got to do is practice the break and then practice just the regular shots. For us, you got to practice multiple different type of strokes, and you got 120 shots to really practice, so that can take some time. And then you got to make sure all your equipment's together. So when you play 8-ball or 9-ball, you may only have a playing cue and a jump break, or a playing cue, a break, and a jump. For me, I have 3 different cues that I use, 3 different shafts that I use, 4 different jump cues that I use. So you really got to make sure all your equipment's ready to go. So it takes a little more getting ready for an artistic competition than it would be just a regular 8-ball or 9-ball tournament. What is your most impressive shot you've seen another player perform? Wow. I would probably have to go with Florian Kohler, also known as Venom. He's done a couple double masse shots to where he's holding 2 masse cues in his hands. Holding 1 is enough. He's holding 2 and massing the 2 cue balls around to where they spin, and then they come back and make balls in the pocket. So I think that's probably the most impressive shot that I've seen as far as creativity and degree of difficulty. What is your favorite and least favorite artistic pool discipline? Least favorite would probably have to be masse. Masse is not the strong part of my game. I've been really working on it, but it's just something that I never really practiced a lot. A lot of the young kids coming up, that's all they do is masse, and they're really great at it. So yeah, masse is probably my weakest. My favorite, I would probably have to say it's a combination between trick and fancy and follow. I like the follow shots because I think I got a pretty good follow stroke, and I love the setup shots, trying to figure out how they work. But ironically, I didn't say draw, and I'm the current world draw champion. But I would have to say draw, follow, and trick and fancy would probably be my 3 favorites, with masse being my least favorite. How did you get involved with Gospel Trickshot Ministries? Kind of touched on it a little bit. In 2008, Steve Lillis did a Gospel Trickshot show at Derby City Classic. And when I heard the announcement on the PA that there was going to be a Gospel Trickshot show, I'm like, wow, this is awesome, because I'm a Christian person and I love trick shots. I'm going to go check this out. And I asked Steve after the show, I says, if you need any help this week, let me know. I'll definitely help you out with things. He looks at me, he says, you're an answer to prayer. And I said, what? And he said, well, my road partner, the guy who usually helps me, was not able to be here. So he said, so I prayed that God will bring me a young Christian pool player to help me out, and then I show up. And then the rest, as they say, is history. You've been working hard to get in physical shape. What prompted you to start working out? The whole costume. Like I said, I wanted to cosplay as He-Man, and I wanted to do it legit. I didn't want to wear a bodysuit because that kind of tells everybody you don't have the physique to do it. I mean, you can do it that way. There's nothing wrong with that, but I kind of wanted to do it legit since it was my favorite costume. I tried working out years ago, and I just never stuck. And I finally said, I'm going to do it this time. A friend of a friend's a professional bodybuilder and trainer. So he set me up with a workout program and a diet program. And it's been doing great ever since. At the recording of this video, it'll be almost 6 months since I started. My previous numbers from 5 months, I'm down 20.5 pounds of fat and up 12 pounds of muscle. And I went from 24% body fat to 14. So I was pretty happy with the results. I can't wait to see where I'm gonna go from here. How has your health kick improved your skills on a pool table? Flexibility would definitely has been increased, especially when I'm bending over, trying to stretch out, or if I'm stretching my leg up on the table to do a crazy jump shot or a masse. And then my back is a lot stronger, so on those long days when you're shooting pool a couple hours a day, I'm no longer feeling soreness, I'm not feeling tired. So I figure the increased energy and flexibility and strength has really helped me out playing even regular 9-ball as well as doing the artistic pool shots. How would you describe McDermott Cues? Quality and creative. You look at some of the designs and they are really cool to look at. And quality, I mean, for the money, I don't think you can get anything better. People always ask me what I think about them, and I'll put McDermott Cues and their quality up against anybody. They hold up to the punishment that I do with the trick shots. So I'll describe McDermott Cues as having a quality product. Is there anything else you'd like to give a shout out to? I'd just like to thank McDermott for having me up here to do this Q&A with you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed. McDermott always has a special place in my heart because they were the very first sponsor to bring me on. I've gotten some sponsors after that, but McDermott was the first one to take a leap on me. And you know, when you first play in pool, whether it be trick shots or a regular pool, your goal is to get a sponsor. It's kind of like getting a endorsement deal, when a shoe deal if you're a basketball player. So to be able to get that and be able to be promoted by McDermott and being able to help move the product I just can't say enough. There's always going to be a special place in my heart for McDermott Cues.